How are you, Marianne?
I'm good استاذ انت كيفك؟
Good. في برد عندكم بعنجر؟
Yes.
كيف كان التست؟
It was
كتير
easy.
سهل.
الون عملتوه ولا جروب ورك؟
لا أكيد لون.
شو؟
شفت انه كنا الون.
ايه بس ما كان فيكم تحكوا مع بعض على السيلفون.
لا ما
We
حكينا.
did it alone, أستاذ.
Okay, good. Did you get your grades? Yes.
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 Okay.
أستاذ
Yes.
رح تبعت أغلاطنا أو شي لنعرف شو عاملين غلط؟
هلا بشوف بعمل انالايز. شفت وين الغلط
Okay.
كل واحد وانا مغلبط. Okay. Can we start?
Yes.
Yes.
So exercise 2. We have the function fx equal x over 2 plus 8 over x. We have to prove f is odd. What is the rule to prove that the function is odd?
f minus x equals to minus fx.
This is the rule. f minus x equal minus f x. f is odd بيكون. This is the orang. So I find f of minus x. f of minus x is calculated by replacing each x by minus x. This was x. We replace x by minus x, which is minus x over 2. And this x is replaced by minus x. So it becomes minus x over 2 minus 8 over x. So it is equal minus f of x. F is odd. But then the question is, interpret geometrically the result. How to interpret geometrically the result? If the function is odd, then O, yes?
بس بدي اطلع دقيقة بعدين بفوت. اوكي.
Okay, we say that O is a center of symmetry. Every odd function has O as a center of symmetry. Okay, this is the geometric interpretation. Interpret graphically the result. كيف بيكون even الفانكشن فانا؟
شو أستاذ؟
Even function. How to prove even function?
f minus x equals to
fx
Equal
لا
f.
مش هيك.
Equal fx. Yes, George. Thank you.
إيه.
Now, part 2. Calculate the limit as x tends to plus or minus infinity. Limit as x tends to plus infinity of fx. We replace each x by infinity. هون ما في اخذ highest degree over highest degree. So I can replace x by infinity. Or if you take the LCM, then you can take highest degree over highest degree. So the LCM, we're replacing x by infinity. We get infinity over 2 plus 8 over infinity. هيدا الx حطينا محله infinity. Number على infinity here 0. Infinity over 2 plus infinity over plus 2, we get plus infinity. The same way, limit as x tends to minus infinity. We replace each x by minus infinity. It becomes minus infinity over 2 over 8 over minus infinity. 8 over minus infinity is 0. So we get minus infinity. Limit as x tends to 0 plus. We replace each x by 0. It becomes هذا x صار 0 وهذا x صار 0 plus. 0 over 2 is 0. 8 over 0 plus is plus infinity. 0 minus, we replace each x by 0. هذا 0 هون وهذا 0 minus, we get number over 0 minus is minus infinity. What is the asymptote here?
vertical.
Vertical asymptote. يعني x equals 0 is a vertical asymptote. يعني مين هو الvertical؟ مين هو x equals 0? Which line? Which line is
y-axis.
y plus or minus
y-axis? Y-axis is the vertical asymptote. So the y-axis is the vertical asymptote.
أستاذ
Yes,
شو بيصير إذا جبنا ال LCM وحلينا
the same.
وحدة
ما بيتغير
بيطلع
شيء.
نفس الجواب؟
أكيد لازم يطلع نفس
أوكي.
الجواب. It is easier يمكن to take the LCM. How to verify the line y equal x over 2 is an oblique asymptote? How to prove oblique asymptote?
Limit of
minus
yd.
لازم يكون limit as x tends to plus or minus infinity لل fx minus yd قديش لازم يطلع هيدا limit؟
0.
0.
So هيدا ال fx هون x over 2 plus 8 over x هيدا minus yd which is x over 2 x over 2 minus x over 2 بيمحي. Then we replace x by infinity. هيدا ال x هون we put instead of it infinity. 8 over plus or minus infinity equal 0. Now, so therefore the line d y equal x plus 2 x over 2 is an oblique asymptote to c. Please حدا عنده شي سؤال؟
no.
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 Study the position. How to study the position between the curve and the line? What we have to do?
table.
مين بيدلنا على الساين؟
Derivative.
No. على البوزيشن. مين بيدلنا على البوزيشن between C and D؟
Okay.
8.
بيدلنا على البوزيشن هو fx minus sine of fx minus yd.
Okay.
So I find fx minus yd بدون limit is 8 over 8. The position is determined by the sine of fx minus yd. fx minus yd equal 8 على x من هون. هيدا 8 على x. Now to study its sine minus infinity 0. From where we get 0? من هيدا هون x different
domain.
from the root.
from domain أو هيدا x different from 0. إذا كانت ال x positive يكون هيدا هون positive وهيدا negative. Negative we say C is below D. Positive C is above D. Please, clear? Any questions? George?
No.
So to know the position between the curve and the oblique asymptote, we find the limit of fx minus yd. Now, calculate f prime x. صرنا عاملين مثله كتير. f prime x is equal u prime v minus v prime u over v square. هون I take the LCM. أخذنا ال LCM. هيدا الفانكشن كان. What is the LCM here? If we are going to take the LCM here, what is the LCM?
2x.
2x. If we take the LCM, this here 2x, we then it will becomes, what will be the numerator if we take the LCM 2x?
X is
X squared plus 16.
بيصير عندنا 2x squared بيصير عندنا x squared plus 16. عرفتوا كيف صار x squared؟ يعني I multiply x times x squared 8 times 2 16. So it becomes هيدا u وهيدا v. u prime, what is u prime?
2x.
2x. v prime
2.
2.
2.
So f prime x equal u prime v minus v prime which is 2. George بلا لعب over v square.
جربت شو؟
Okay. We get 4x squared minus 2x squared minus 32. We get 2x squared minus 32. we can stop here, but he needs the result in the form x squared minus 16 over 2x squared. Since you are asked to prove it is in that form, so I can take 2 common in the numerator. It becomes x squared minus 16. We simplify this 2 with that 4, remains here 2. We get x squared minus 16. To set up the table of variations, we solve f prime x equal to 0, in x squared minus 16 equal to 0, x squared equals 16, x equal plus or minus 4, not 4, plus or minus 4. Now, table of variation, as usual, here we put minus infinity, we put the domain, minus infinity 0, plus infinity, minus infinity, and we put the values of x, minus 4, and 4. At 0, I have a bridge because it is not defined. Here I put 0, here I put 0. Since f prime is of the second degree, between the roots, opposite sign لل a هي 1x squared, a هي 1, here negative, negative, positive, positive. أو George method, George إذا بدي يعرف الساين between 0 and 4, he can take
2.
a number of 0 and 4 like 2
5.
or 1 and replace it in the derivative. So positive, it is increasing, negative, it is decreasing, negative, decreasing, and then it is increasing. على الماينس انفينيتي طلع معنا الماينس انفينيتي، لقينا من هون من هيدا على البلس انفينيتي طلع بلس انفينيتي. As x tends to 0 plus, we get plus infinity here. As x tends to 0 minus, here we have minus infinity. The maximum f of minus 4 equals 4. And the minimum f of 4 equals 4. So far, so good?
Yes.
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 Part 5. كيف الإيكويشن of the tangent بيكون مريان؟ كيف الإيكويشن of the tangent مريان؟
بجيب الواي
شو بيكون، شو هي الرول for equation of the tangent؟
بعمل replace ب fx 2
بس شو هي الايكويشن؟ كيف بيكون الايكويشن
Y minus
y
YA
minus
is
ya
equal to-
equals slope x minus xa.
طيب here xa هي 2. To calculate ya, I replace x by 2 in the function, by f of 2 we get 5. To find the slope I replace x by 2 in the derivative and I get minus 3 over 2. And the equation of the tangent is y minus ya equals slope into x minus xa. We take them to one side, etc. We get y equal minus 3 over 2x plus 8. لحد هون, no questions. I hope. Now, to draw the curve, first of all, I have to draw the asymptote. هيدا x equals 0 is a vertical asymptote. هيدا هو vertical asymptote. Okay? And the oblique asymptote is y equal x over 2. I take 2 points. For x equals 0, I get y equals 0. هيدا البوينت هون. For x equal to 2 over 2, 1, I get x2 or y1. هيدا البوينت. I join them together, I get the oblique asymptote. Then I locate the minimum and the maximum. Maximum is minus 4, minus 4. هيدا minus 4, minus 4. This is the maximum. The minimum is 4, 4 here. And I have to follow the table of variation. Always, مثل ما كنا نقول, you have to take particular points by using your calculator mode table. You write the function, start minus 5, end at 5. كلكم تعرفوا تستخدموا الكالكوليترز. So, according to the table of variation, we start minus infinity, minus infinity, minus infinity is here. Then we increase to the maximum. Then we go to the maximum. هذا الماكسيموم هيك. وصلنا للماكسيموم بيقول لنا table of variation الارو. Then we decrease to 0 minus infinity. This is 0 minus infinity. We have a jump. Then here at 0 we have plus infinity, 0 plus infinity here. To the minimum, it decreases to the minimum like that. Then it goes to plus infinity. Any questions about the drawing? Now we go to the economic part. اللي بيهمني هو economic part لأنه أول part صرنا عاملين مثله كتير. Economic part عطينا total cost is given by x squared over 2 plus 8 is in thousands of Lebanese lira. Pay attention for the units. Well, x is in hundreds of batteries. Fixed cost. كيف بنلاقي الفيكست كوست فانا؟
CT 0.
CT of 0. انتبهوا رح احط جريدز اللي ما عم بيشارك رح احط له 0 جريد.
is equal to 8.
8 we have to
1000.
8 thousands of Lebanese lira أو 8,000 Lebanese lira. الافريج كوست شو بيساوي الافريج كوست جورج؟ مطلوب الافريج كوست هلا. What is the rank for the average cost?
هاي C على U bar equal to C T over X.
So the average cost is the cost of one unit is the total quantity which is Cx over X. So هيدا ال cost over X. X squared بتصير X squared بتصير X over 2 plus 8 over X which is equal to Fx. وعملنا show that أو prove that the average cost is equal Fx. Determine the number of pans to produce to reach the minimum average cost. How to reach the minimum average cost? From where we find the minimum average cost?
Derivative.
Minimum average cost, derivative لمين؟
C bar of X.
هلا C bar of X, since C bar of X is equal to Fx, C bar is the same as Fx. يعني to reach C bar is minimum C bar of X means minimum of Fx. From table of variation, إذا نطلع لفوق table of variations, when the minimum occurs for X equal how much بهيدا التable؟ when عندنا minimum
4.
4.
4. What's the unit? What's the unit for X?
Thousands of
4. Hundreds.
Hundreds of batteries.
Lebanese.
X in hundreds of batteries. So we put 4, X equal 4. The number of batteries is 400 to reach the minimum. Good?
Yes.
Yes.
But now in the other part 2, part 4 now. Suppose that the average cost عطينا هو هيدا ال average cost. How to find the profit function? كيف بنلاقي ال profit function? What's the rule for profit?
Rx minus Cx.
Rx minus Cx. Do we have Rx?
No.
No. How to calculate Rx?
هاي تبع الماكسيموم.
No. Rx.
ناخدها.
If you are given the average revenue, how to calculate the revenue?
Price over
No.
unit.
I don't have the selling. If I have the selling price, I put revenue equal the price over unit price times the X times the unit of X. But here I don't have the price, the selling price. So
RX over X.
بنحط
طلعوا هيدا.
الماكسيموم
So
برايس.
هيدا طلعوا لي هون شوي. شفتوا هيدا الاورنج C bar of X equal CX over X.
Yes.
يعني R bar of X what will be equal?
RX over X.
So R bar of X هي Rx over X. By cross multiplication Rx equal X times R bar of X. Clear لحد هون؟
Yes.
هيدا
شو
X.
صارون؟ كروس مالتيبلاي عملت؟
Yes, cross
نفهم الدستيرز هون.
هون اعطينا هو الافريج ريفينيو. اوكي؟
ايه
الافريج ريفينيو من فوق الافريج كوست هو كوست اوفر اكس. الافريج ريفينيو هو ار اكس اوفر اكس. لحد هون واضح؟
ايه
To find Rx
Yes.
بنلاقي هيدا Rx هون I cross multiply بصير Rx equal هي R bar of X times X. هيدا ضرب هيدا X times R bar of X. X leave it X R bar of X given هيدا R bar of X. We expand بصير minus 4 over 5x squared plus 13x. Now profit as you said is equal revenue minus cost. هيدا الريفينيو already لقينا. الcost is given x squared over 2 plus 8. As a total result we get minus 13 over 10x squared plus 13x minus 8. Any questions?
نو
No.
صار
Please
Yes.
عنده يسأل.
بس
No.
Yes. Yes.
روبي قالت انه بعدين هي بدها تتفرج على فيديو تبع الريكورد.
ايه حاطط عم بعمل شي مره اذا نسيت اعمل ريكورد بليز تيل مي ذات يو بليز ريكورد لانه مرات عم بنسى اعمل ريكورد.
اوكي
Okay.
اوكي. Now بيقول study the variations of P on 05 and construct the table of variation. What's meant by study the variations? mean study the variations يعني I have to calculate the derivative P prime X. I multiply 2 times minus 13 to find the derivative of x squared. Derivative of x squared is 2x and multiply it by 13 you get minus 26 over 10x. Derivative of 13x is 13 and derivative لل8 0. لحد هون في شي questions?
No.
Variation يعني استاذ.
Variations يعني table of variation derivative plus table of variation هيدا اسمه variations.
Okay.
Whenever you said study the sense of variations, you have to find the derivative, study its sign.
هنقول above or عم below.
هون, no, not below, above. The position between the curve and the asymptote, below or above. هون, I solve p prime x equal to 0 to study its sign. So minus 26x over 10 plus 13 equal to 0. I solve for x, minus 26x over 10 equal minus 13. The 26x we cross multiply equal 130. The x equal 5. I put in this table who it is domain who is 0, 5. He said that study the variations of p on the interval 0, 5. هلا كيف بعرف positive? As George said always, I take a number between 0 and 5. Give me a number between 0 and 5.
1.
1. I put it in the derivative of p. بيصير minus 26 over 10 plus 13.
Is
Minus 26 over 10 plus 13, which is positive. So it is positive here. And it is an increasing function. Yes, George?
ليه أخذت between 0 and 5؟ شو كان فوق؟
George who we said بالquestion part 5 study the variations of p on 0, 5
okay.
and construct the table of variations.
Okay.
Please tell next time to help me more. خلوا البوك حدكم. Okay. هيدا we replace x by 0 in the p, we get minus 8. and we replace x by 5, we get 24.5.
أستاذ
Yes.
إذا بالسؤال كان قايل إنه minus infinity 0 5 plus infinity كنا بنحط هون كمان.
Yes. كنا بنحط ما بنحط 0، كنا بنحط minus infinity 5 plus infinity. بس هو لأنه عم يقول study in the interval 0 5.
Okay.
وبعدين always whenever we have economic function لازم يكون الاكس positive. ما we don't take x negative. اوكي. دايما لازم يكون ما فينا نقول ان الكوانتيتي is negative. Now part 6 عم نقول part 6 prove that the equation px equals 0 admits a unique solution alpha alpha is between 0.65 and 0.66. We are going to prove that px equal to 0 has one root alpha alpha is between 0.65 0.66. هيدا أخذنا بأول درس approximate value, but we didn't solve any questions in the previous chapter. So to prove an equation, to prove that an equation has a root alpha between 0.65 and 0.66, first we have to prove that f is continuous and monotone on the interval. And we find p of 0.65 or p of 0.66. واحد بيطلع negative واحد بيطلع positive. I repeat, to prove a function equal to 0 has one root, we have to prove that f is continuous and monotone, and we find f of this function and f of that value, واحد negative وواحد positive. هلا from the table, p is increasing or decreasing? P is increasing. P is increasing. So if p is continuous and strictly increasing over 0.5, 0.65, 0.66. بنلاقي p of 0.65, we replace x by 0.65 in p. بيطلع minus 0.09, which is negative. And p of 0.66 كمان نعمل له replace, بيطلع positive. So px equals 0 has one root alpha, and alpha belongs to 0.65, 0.66. Please, any questions?
No.
No.
The last part 7. Determine the minimum number of batteries. Determine the minimum number of batteries to produce so that the factory realizes a gain. Determine the number of produced batteries so the factory produces a gain. هلا إذا رجعنا هون هيدا التيبل هون ما عندي مينيموم، شايفين هون ما عندي مينيموم أو ماكسيموم. The profit function is increasing from -8 till 24.5. In which case we will have a profit.
Px is greater than 0.
Okay, to have a profit, Px should be greater than 0. Okay. إذا بنلاحظ هون من our previous part, P of 0.65 is negative. Here the profit is negative. Hon, the profit is negative. P of 0.66, the profit is how much? 0.013, which is positive, yes?
Yes.
Positive. So we say that أنت إذا كان بيصير في عنا profit at x equal how much? So to realize
0.66.
Px should be positive at x equals 0.66. This is the minimum one. So Px positive. So the minimum number of batteries is 0.66 hundredths of batteries. Please, any questions?
No.
Okay. Please
No.
تكتبوا هدول exercises على your copybook.
Okay.
You have to write them day by day. مش ننطر للويك اند او بعد اسبوعين او لشيء لحتى نكتب. Please day by day
شكرا.
Yes, you're
Please,
right.
for tomorrow prepare exercise 3 problem 3 بالمايكرو ماث.
أستاذ
Yes George.
عمول معروفين يشوف هاي قلم وشغلات بدي يكتب.
هي أنا.
دقيقة دقيقة أنت خلصت؟
Yes.
لا تطلع من زوم.